Let's be real. We've all got that inbox. You know the one. It's just overflowing with newsletters that we signed up for and now have zero interest in opening. So how do you make sure that yours isn't one of them? Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you how to stop sending emails and start putting on a performance people can't wait to see.
This right here, this is the whole key. It's a total game changer. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you stage it. The moment you start thinking of your newsletter as a performance, with a story and a stage, you'll completely change how you build it. And, more importantly, how your audience experiences it.
All right, so if your amazing content is the story, then the layout is the stage itself. So let's pull back the curtain and really dig into why getting this stage design right is absolutely critical for putting on a show that people will love.
So what is a newsletter layout really? Well, at its core, it's the structure. It's the blueprint that arranges all your pieces, the text, the images, the links, all of it, into a format that's not just easy to read, but is genuinely fun to look at.
And let me tell you, a good layout is about so much more than just looking pretty. It's a workhorse. It's what grabs attention in that first split second. It makes your message flow, it hammers home your brand identity, and it gets people to actually click on things. And maybe most importantly, it makes sure everything looks great whether they're on a giant monitor or a tiny phone screen.
Every great play needs a great cast, right? Well, your newsletter is no different. So let's meet the key players, the cast of characters that are going to bring your story to life on this stage we're setting. And trust me, each one has a very specific and very important role to play.
And, just like in a play, the order they show up in, it's everything. This is the journey your audience goes on every single time. They experience these 5 parts one by one, from the header's opening line to the footer's final bow. So, let's meet them.
First on stage is the header. This is your opening act. Its job is super simple, but absolutely crucial. Establish who you are instantly. It's that logo and brand name that creates immediate recognition. It's the, I know who this is from moment.
And next up, here comes the star of the show, the hero section. This is your main event. Whatever your most important message is, whatever your biggest news is, this is where it goes. It needs to have a powerful image or a super bold headline that just grabs them and convinces them to stick around for the rest of the performance.
Then we get to the body content. This is where the story really unfolds. But you have to be careful here. A giant wall of text is a showstopper, and I mean that in the worst way possible. It's the fastest way to lose your audience. You have to guide their eye with headings, break up the text into columns, and use images to give them a little visual break.
Now we're building to the big finale, the call to action, or CTA. This is the climax of your entire play. You've told your story, and now you have to tell the audience exactly what you want them to do next. Whether it's shop now or read more, that button needs to be crystal clear, easy to spot, and so compelling they just have to click it.
And finally, every show has its closing credits. For a newsletter, that's the footer. Now, it might not seem like the most exciting part, but man, is it essential for building trust. This is where you put your social media links, your legal stuff, and, this is so important, a really clear, easy-to-find unsubscribe link. It shows you respect your audience. Okay. You know the stage and you've met the cast. Now, it's your turn. It's time for you to step into the director's chair. So we're going to share some of the core principles, the director's secrets, if you will, that turn a pretty good newsletter into an absolute masterpiece.
First things first, a good director knows their theater. And in our case, would you look at this? The majority of your audience, a whopping 60%, is watching your performance on a tiny little mobile screen. That's not a small detail. That's a massive deal. If your design looks broken on a phone, you've lost most of your audience before the show even starts.
So what's in your director's toolkit? Well, it starts with the basics. Alignment, which just keeps things from looking like a total mess. Hierarchy, which tells the reader's eye what's most important. Then there's white space. Giving your content room to breathe is so important. You wrap all that in your brand's colors to make it instantly recognizable. And finally, responsive design ties it all together, making sure your show looks fantastic on any stage.
Now, think about what kind of play you're actually producing. You can think of your layout type as its genre. If you have one big focus message, that's a soliloquy,
A single column is perfect. If you're presenting a couple of different ideas, that's a dialogue. Try 2 columns. For a whole bunch of different items, like products, that's an ensemble cast. A grid layout is your best friend. Just pick the genre that fits your story.
All right, we're nearing the final curtain call. But before we wrap up, let's cover a few key best practices. You can think of these as the final polish that's going to guarantee you get a standing ovation.
Okay, for your encore performance, a few last tips. Always keep your most important stuff above the fold. That's just the part people see without having to scroll. Make sure your story flows logically from one section to the next. Using a template is a great way to stay consistent. And hey, don't be afraid to add fun interactive things like polls or GIFs to really get the crowd going.
And that really brings us right back to our main idea. This isn't just about blasting out an email. When you take the time to focus on layout and design, you're doing something more. You're crafting an experience, a performance that actually connects with people and makes them feel something.
So there you have it. The stage is set, the cast is ready, and now you have the director's secrets. All the pieces are in place. So, the only question left is, what story will you tell?